TV3, first in news, best in entertainment.
All right, Charlie, it's been several hours of this match. I followed you from the start point to this side. I want you to first of all give us your impressions, then we continue the conversation.
I think young people have underestimated themselves for so long. There's a sheer will of young people to liberate themselves and to speak their truth to power. We've been so afraid for a very long time, but I want to believe that today marks the beginning of the end of that fear, that young people would be able to give their gift of life to this nation. A nation without the youth is a nation without a future. So what you see here today are the future, and the future is here to say that we are not happy with the future that awaits us, and we want to change that. So those are my impressions, that it looks like there is a new will to do things differently.
Okay, now let's talk about your message to the crowd. I saw the passion in your eyes, and even before you mounted the stage, the daughter of the late Kaka mounted the stage, and I was moved to tears. I shed tears. I could see in your eyes that you were really emotional about all of this. What was your message to the people here?
My message to the people here and all those watching us, especially young people, is that Kwame Nkrumah told us something. He said, the secret of life is to have no fear. And that was my message to everybody here, that we should have no fear. We should be courageous to imagine a Ghana without MPP NDC. We are so afraid to imagine anything outside MPP NDC, and that is why they have taken us for granted. That is why they are stealing and raping us in broad daylight under the guise of a constitutional leadership. What we have is not a constitution. It is a notebook for stealing and raping and plundering the state. Recently, we saw what Article 71 office holders did. And we also saw what the same group of people have done for workers in this country in terms of their increment in salary and all of that, 4%. So there must be an awakening. First fool is not a fool, but second fool is definitely a fool. Young people of this country must know that this is the time for us to come together and rise. And I'm happy first fool is not a fool, but second fool is definitely a fool. Young people of this country must know that this is the time for us to come together and rise. And I'm happy at what we have done so far. Every generation have had these types of conversations in this country, right from our forefathers, leading to the establishment of the Aborigines Rights Protection Society in 1897 by the likes of John Mensah Saba and co. The Atwa Homers, the Houghton Williams, all of them. These are guys that stood for us. At the time when the colonialists were saying that any land that is not occupied is going to be appropriated by the crown, is going to be more or less given to the crown. That's the British colonial authority. It took the likes of John Mensah Saba, Kesley Hayford to mount a formidable challenge, marching all the way to London to state their case that in nowhere in Africa does the land belong to an individual or is a land ownerless. Every land belongs to a family, belongs to a stool, and all. They made those strong arguments. That is why we have our land today. The absence of that formidable challenge in places like South Africa, in places like Zimbabwe, Botswana, is what has resulted in a situation where whites own and control over 80% of the land space, whilst the black people, who are the indigenous people and owners of the land, live in shacks and in spaces inhabitable by man. Today, on the 4th of August, just the same 4th of August as the ARPS was established, young people have converged to make a statement that we are giving birth to Ghana. This is a reborn of Ghana. everybody here has answered to the roll call. And that's precisely what is happening. We are ready to build a new and independent nation for ourselves. We are ready to commit ourselves to new ways. When we were coming, we were collecting the litter, the ice water, sachet, and all of that. When we said fix the country, the response of the so-called leadership that we have was we should fix ourselves. We have collected all the litter on the streets, and yet we have nowhere to put them. This shows you that our leaders have failed us. This shows you that our leaders have no vision. This shows you that our leaders have no story and future for us. And that is why we are taking our nation back.